What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Prop Firm Match, your trusted resource for all things prop firms related. Today, we have another special interview. I'm joined by David Varga, the co-founder and CEO of Fintokei. So David, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. And actually, greetings from Japan.
Greetings. It's my pleasure to be able to interview today, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us. For those who don't know who you are, don't know how you started, do you want to give us a little bit about your background, how you got into this space, and things of that nature?
Yeah, absolutely. If I start from the very beginning, my degree is actually in business management, finance, and international law as well. But right after university, I actually got to work in a technology company and in the finance and infrastructure fintech industry, where we were providing technology and services to brokers. Soon after, we actually started our own brokers, including Purple Trading, which you or your followers might know. Beside the brokerage and technology services that we were providing, we also soon somehow got involved in what we after were calling modern prop trading business. We were providing services to several major prop trading companies in their beginnings, observing this industry, observing how other companies are doing it, where maybe are some loopholes or opportunities. We basically also decided to create our own prop firm, which is Fintokei, which we started in the Japanese market because that market, unlike most of the rest of the world, was very unknown for the prop trading industry. And we basically decided to popularize and introduce this whole concept, fascinating concept, to the local market. So that's how I got into prop trading, and that's how I got in Fintokei, actually.
Wow. So that's incredible. You have a lot of experience. It seems like you obviously summarized it, but you've been through quite a bit. So how has your extensive experience in brokerage, fintech, and things of that nature, how has it influenced your core values and the mission that drives Fintokei's unique approach?
Yeah, definitely. We've seen a lot, I would say. We also have a lot of experience with traders from both the brokerage point of view and the prop trading point of view. As I said, we basically started Fintokei, first of all, because we saw the opportunity on the Japanese market, but secondly, also because we saw several things that we didn't like happening in the prop industry. And having our experience, having our infrastructure and the set of companies or group of companies, the prop trading thing was actually something nicely adding up to the last piece of puzzle, let's say.
Yeah.
Regarding the mission that you have, basically it's pretty simple, but our mission is to empower traders globally and to help them improve their skills and actually accelerate their trading journey. And eventually, we want to help traders make more money for both them and us in the end of the day.
That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So being, from the perspective of a brokerage and now a prop firm, what would you say are the key similarities or differences between a brokerage and a prop trading firm in your experience?
So similarities, there is definitely the trading platform. It requires certain skills and, let's say, logics or way of thinking. But on the other hand, I would say approach to prop trading from the trader's point of view is a bit different than approach to the personal account. At least from what we see when in the data, most of the traders are trading in a different way on the brokerage account and then in a personal account with the brokerage than on a prop account. And also the ways of, let's say, marketing are very, very different. And to maybe put it in a nutshell, I would say many people nowadays are actually starting their journey with prop trading firms. And they basically believe that the own personal account with the broker is something like a next phase thing. So they basically start with a prop firm. And once they make money in prop, they only then set up a brokerage account and continue their journey, either on the brokerage account or in parallel, continue trading with props and as well trade on their own account. I would say a lot has changed over past few years, and we could obviously see this trend coming, and that's why we also entered the space.
Agreed. And speaking of some of the things that have changed in the last few years, we have prop firms and now we have broker-backed prop firms. Can you touch a little bit on some of the, I guess, unique advantages that broker-backed prop firms offer, let's say, over traditional prop firms, and any unique innovations that they bring to traders?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Great question. So first of all, I would say it goes a lot to the experience and the infrastructure and the whole financial or safety cushion that the prop firms backed by big financial groups bring to the table. And I would say that the safety, reliability, and in the end of the day, kind of trust into the prop firm is one of the core principles or core features that prop firms should have and that the prop traders should seek. It doesn't mean that other prop firms maybe don't have it, but there might be a little bigger confidence or better trust into a broker-backed prop firm, I would say. That's number one thing. But to what I was saying, I think the level of experience, including the risk management, including the finance management, including the network that comes along with the brokerage business, for example, for payment providers or other technology partners, is very, very important in the life of a prop firm, because there will be some harder times from risk management point of view, from money point of view, even payment provider point of view, because that becomes pretty important part of the industry, the reliable payment providers. And having this network, having experience with any kind of situation that has happened in the brokerage space definitely helps us a lot also in the prop industry. And again, should bring another layer of security to the company and to its customers eventually. So I think that's the most important aspect of it.
Yeah. Okay. So when you were speaking, I heard you mention some of the core things that you believe are very important. I want to kind of switch gears a little bit here and ask you, speaking of core things, what are some of the core values? Like Fintokei's mission, obviously, from the beginning has had its own vision and mission. How do you think it's evolved over time? And what are some of your core values and principles that define or guide the growth of Fintokei as a company?
So I'll repeat myself a little bit, but I would say it's mainly the reliability, whether it's regarding the infrastructure and the technological aspect of it, or the financial aspect, etc., which I was talking about. Secondly, it's transparency. We definitely are trying to be as transparent as possible about our model, about the rules we have, about the way how we treat traders. And thirdly, also innovation, even though at the moment we might not be the most innovative company on the market, but we are working on several very interesting initiatives that I think could reshape or add a very nice touch to the industry next year. So there's definitely a lot to look forward to. So reliability, transparency, and innovation.
Awesome. Very, very wonderful core principles and very strong ones as well. It's going to be a bit of the same question, but I couldn't help but think
Sure.
of asking you, in your opinion, what do you think separates or differentiates Fintokei from other prop firms?
You're right. It's pretty similar question to what we were just talking about. On top of what I was already mentioning, I would say it's the way how we actually treat the customers in terms of the customer support, in terms of the information we provide on the website. So it pretty much goes a lot in line with the transparency, but also some kind of a friendliness or a human approach, which, by the way, is another value that I haven't mentioned, but that we keep inside a company or inside the whole group actually from the very beginning. The actual human approach and personal approach that we always take with our customers. I definitely need to mention also the reliability in terms of payouts, because that is a very hot topic, obviously, in this industry for ever, pretty much, or from the very beginning. And I'm proud to say that we never denied any payout, and we have, of course, no intention of doing so. And having pretty advanced risk management procedures, monitoring all the accounts basically continuously is helping us a lot in this regard. So that's, I would say, very important parameter as well, and something that we stand out at.
Amazing. Amazing. So you mentioned a lot of very important things. I love how you
Yeah.
mentioned the human touch and the personalized approach and advanced risk management parameters and things of that nature, which again are very important. In terms of Fintokei's, because we understand that Fintokei has a very emphasized, like a structured educational evaluation that you, again, emphasize with your company. What do you think are the unique advantages of that? And how do they support your overall vision as a company?
Definitely, education is an important part of our business, and I would say of this industry in particular. Especially here in Japan, the financial literacy and education about trading is not so much, let's say, present. There's not that many publicly available information. Also, Japanese traders or people in general are not so great in English. So having the educational materials in the local language is, again, another thing that we try to differentiate from the other competitors. And at the same time, is something that we even want to improve and work on much more, especially the next year, because we believe that education is the beginning of everything, not only in trading. And I can definitely see a lot of potential in this regard, how to even make it better, more easy to understand, easy to access. And that is actually something that can even help us grow at Fintokei business-wise,
Yeah.
and how we could approach like a different target audience. Because still the prop industry or the concept of modern prop trading is not that much known in Japan and in some other parts of the world. And the educational aspect of it can definitely help break the barriers and maybe attract even other people or traders who kind of look at this industry through fingers, not really believe in it or seeing it maybe as a scam or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And, you know, in addition to everything that you've already mentioned, and we just discussed the structured educational approach as well, Fintokei, in addition to that, offers a lot of different diverse opportunities to trade. You have two-phase challenges, you have instant funding, and you even have a scaling plan. And I just want you to, if you can, talk a little bit about how the firm's scaling plan rewards traders who demonstrate consistent profitability and discipline.
So it's actually pretty straightforward. For as long as you can demonstrate trading consistently and enough period of time, we want to reward you by basically adjusting and increasing the balance on the pro trader or start trader account that you are trading with us. And over time, you can eventually even increase the payout ratio that you are getting to your own pocket. The scaling plan that we have at the moment can actually bring you up to 4 million euros account, which is pretty amazing. There's not any client reaching that amount at the moment yet, but hopefully there will be some getting towards that goal over the next year. In the end of the day, the scaling plan is here to reward the successful and consistent traders. And that's actually something we also want to work more very soon, because the topic of consistency is pretty important in this industry. And it's the same for us at Fintokei. We definitely want to find even other ways or maybe improve the scaling plan a bit more to motivate traders to trade consistently, and actually not trying to jump to or like to rush into 5-10% profits per day, because we see that a lot. As soon as the traders get to the family account, they kind of start trading with higher risk, and they basically try to achieve big profits in a short period of time, which is kind of against the whole concept of the prop trading industry. What we are actually looking for and what we are actually trying to achieve. Like I said, it's pretty important topic for us even at the moment, and we are looking for ways how to motivate our traders even more to trade with a long-term approach and with consistency as the first principle, let's say.
Awesome. Awesome. You actually answered some of the questions that I had in mind. I was going to ask you how
Great.
you how you keep your traders motivated, which you touched on, and what are some of the hurdles that you see that traders face, which you also touched on. What I want to ask you now is, in terms of key mistakes and how traders approach the market that you touched on, how do you as a prop firm help them refine those things? Because you mentioned also how Fintokei has a very advanced like risk management approach. How does that risk management tie into helping traders also manage their risk as well?
I would say that at the first phase or first point, the rules themselves that we have set on our plans should be kind of guiding traders enough in what they should or shouldn't do. We can definitely see some of our traders who are with us for a longer period of time, they are improving. So that's a positive sign or positive outcome, and the way how we expected and imagined it. At the same time, we can also see it's not enough, and it goes with what I said slightly earlier, that there's many traders who are even within the rules that we do have at our programs, try to risk too much to what we would say is consistent or conservative. So if something like this happens, we actually send warnings and recommendations to our customers. In an extreme case, we can even apply some restrictions on them temporarily or permanently, such as reducing the available leverage or applying additional restriction on the maximum daily profit or loss as some kind of a soft breach or like a daily pause rule. At the same time, of course, we are trying to help in the educational aspect of it. So we write several articles or make videos about how the consistency is important. What are, let's say, some do's and don'ts in terms of trading with prop firm, etc. That's the things we do. If you ask about what are the main issues that we see with some of the traders and what maybe is the root of trying to be too much in a hurry, I would say it all comes down to the emotions. And I think the emotions and the psychology is the number one reason why some traders fail, or why actually many traders fail, because we can see in data that many traders are trading in a very nice way. It looks like they really have discipline, they really have some edge over the market or some strategy that has a potential. Then we see 1, 2, 3 trades that are kind of out of the concept, out of the strategy. When we discuss something like this with the traders, the most common aspect or reason why something like this happened was that they lost their nerves, or they saw some opportunity of a lifetime that they didn't want to miss, and cases like this. So ultimately it narrows down to the psychology and emotions, that being like a main reason why someone gets out of their plan and their strategy. This is also a topic that we are internally discussing, how to approach it and how to actually, or what can be the tools and ways how to help traders to overcome this and again become better in trading.
That's really great to hear. So I see. So hearing everything that you're saying about what you've observed with traders and what usually causes them to kind of, like you said, rush the process and sometimes not make the right decisions. What do you think are the qualities or the type of trading behavior that's essential for trading success?
Well, beside having the right mental approach and mental state, definitely it would be discipline. It would be also, I don't know how to call it, but what I think is very important is to note down basically follow something like a trading journal and basically note down what you do, what were the reasons of entering and exiting trades. So have some kind of a retrospective that you can always get back to. And I think that's very important. I'm not sure how to describe it or how to name a quality like this, but I get, you know what I mean. Definitely the psychology and the mental state of being really focused and relaxed when trading, not making rush decisions, and then the discipline of not getting out of your strategy and out of your plan. And lastly, being kind of punctual in terms of documenting your journey and being able to learn from it retrospectively.
Yeah, absolutely. Those things are very, very important. Everything you touched on is very important. All right, so let's switch gears here a little bit. We're in a space where things are always rapidly changing and improving and things of
Mhm.
that nature. How does Fintokei keep itself competitive?
I would say we are always looking around what's happening. So even all the competitors, we're following regulators, industry news. We're very much communicative with anyone in the industry, whether it's technology partners, whether it's payment providers, whether it's banks, regulators, like I said already, and even some of the competitors. So that's first thing. The second thing is definitely trying to utilize synergies within our group. So synergies with our brokers, synergies with our technology company. And basically, if some of our brokers are introducing some new product or new feature, Fintokei can take it as well and introduce it as well, or the other way around. So that's definitely another good benefit and way how we try to become and stay competitive. And that's pretty much it, what comes to my mind at the moment. But one more thing I would like to mention is that at the same time, we don't need to be the most unique or come up with all the new features right away. We always try to observe and basically evaluate whether something brings value to the end customers, traders, or not. So that basically means we don't really need to be ahead of the market or ahead of the competition in terms of all the new features or marketing tactics or special offers, etc. But we really want to focus only on things that bring the added value to the customers, to the funded traders as well. At the same time, basically remain reliable, trustworthy, and sustainable, which are the core values that we mentioned already.
Yes, of course. And so, you mentioned making sure that everything you do still brings value to the end user amidst
Yeah.
a lot of other positive things that you said. So, looking ahead, looking into the future, you've touched on this a little bit earlier about some of the exciting innovations and tools and things like that you guys are working on to bring to the market. Are there any specific tools that you're excited to bring to the traders market or to the traders or to your prop firm that you can touch on right now?
Beside the improvements in education that I mentioned, we're now working hard on introducing a new platform slash charting tool that can be very interesting for the clients, but at the same time, it's something I cannot really talk that much about
Of course.
openly at the moment. But I think it can be very interesting. And lastly, what I would mention is the new version of our Star Trader program that will even further focus on the consistency and conservative trading approach, which sounds like it means it will have maybe a bit more strict rules, but at the same time, it will reward these aspects that we are looking for, such as consistency and low risk, and we'll be able to deliver up to 100% payout ratio to those who actually follow these main principles. So that's something that I believe will be pretty unique. In a nutshell, basically reward those who trade in the way that we want
Yeah.
and that we look for. And such traders will actually get much better than they would be rewarded in the traditional model.
Awesome. So once again, there's so many things that you guys are working on, already providing and, planning to bring into the market for your traders. And I love the fact that everything you said today and everything you're working on today is just trader focused. It's all to help the trader have a better chance of not just reaching success, but maintaining it, which is absolutely awesome. So my next question for you is, obviously being the CEO and having all these things you're working on and currently managing, it could be a bit of a tough balancing act. So, are there any specific routines or anything like that that help you stay motivated or focused or excited?
Good question. And thanks for that. Because being a CEO or top management C-level position is not easy. There's like a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. And it's actually a topic that not many people ask about or talk about. So once again, thanks for that question.
For sure.
But so I just don't complain. It's actually also very fascinating to be at that position, to be able to actually shape or reshape the maybe even the whole industry and at least the direction that Fintokei and our company is going to. Even though I wasn't trader before I actually joined our company 15 years ago, the trading world and the financial markets like amazed me. I was always the guy that wanted to build something that was like product, let's say, related and oriented, that liked the design of things, and I always thought about why something is the way it is and how can it be better for me or for the end user. That's the aspect of this business that really amazes me and continues to inspire me, and also to kind of recharge me and gives me energy potential difficult times or when things are not so great or not so easy to navigate, because there are some times like that. But in the end of the day, it's about bringing good value to the customers and to grow your business at the same time, and basically find a way how to do both of these things together. That's definitely something that keeps me motivated in this business and in this industry, and why I'm still positive and optimistic, even about the whole industry itself. Because not always the industry have and probably will have its challenges and potentially some problems, but I'm very optimistic about it. I believe we, together with other leaders of nice companies in this area, will always find a way and navigate the industry to the better tomorrows.
Well said. Well said. Any advice or guidance you want to give to traders or anyone entering the prop space for the first time? What would your advice be to somebody who's entering for the first time?
Definitely to choose a reliable partner at the first place. It's not only Fintokei, there's more members of this industry that I ultimately respect, and that would be a good choice. We've talked, or I've talked about a lot of stuff that we do at Fintokei, and I kind of showed off, maybe I have a feeling, but there are also other good companies. However, definitely important to choose wisely in this regard. Secondly, try a free trial, or like if someone offers a demo account, before you actually jump into buying challenges one after another. And definitely try to learn from your mistakes, because especially if it's your first time with the prop trading model, it's not the same thing as trading on a brokerage account or even trading on a broker's demo account. The prop trading rules especially are in place, and you definitely need to understand them all. So maybe another advice would be to read the FAQs or prop firm that you will eventually choose, so that you're not surprised about any rules or about anything that would happen on the way. And last but not least, take your emotions under control. That's, like I said, the most important part of trading, I believe. Definitely focus on this part, because not every trader, especially the beginning trader, is aware of this. And I think it's something to pay attention to even from the very beginning.
Agreed. That's, again, really wonderful. So we've learned about the beginning of Fintokei. You walked us through that. Then you walked us through what you're doing for traders, what you're working on. You gave us advice. You talked to us about some of your routine and the things that keep you excited. Any final words before we wrap this up and let you continue with the day? As being CEO is a very demanding job. Any final words at all?
Oof, I really think that we covered a lot. I would just repeat myself in terms of being optimistic about the whole industry, being excited about where the industry is going towards, and about being part of it. And at the same time, basically being welcoming to any newcoming traders that just found out about the prop trading industry, or that will eventually find out about this in future. Because I definitely agree with saying that this modern prop trading is actually revolutionizing the approach towards trading. And I think it can bring wonderful opportunities for traders. It doesn't mean that trading is easy or that prop trading would make trading anyhow easier. Maybe it's the other way around, and the trading with prop firms may be even more challenging at some times. But the opportunities it brings are amazing. Like I said, I'm very optimistic about it. And there are definitely reliable and trustworthy companies, including Fintokei, hopefully, on the market. So I'm really excited how the industry will grow and evolve in next 3-5 years.
Yeah, 100%. We're very excited as
So
well.
one more thing.
No problem.
Sorry, I forgot to mention, of course, prop firm edge and the value you guys bring to the industry, because the transparency is crucial. And you are definitely one of the aspects that improved this a lot. I really appreciate what you guys do, and hopefully you will continue in a similar manner forward.
Thank you. We sincerely appreciate that kind of feedback from not just the CEO of Fintokei, but from also the prop firm's perspective. It means a lot to us. Thank you very much. David, it's been an absolute pleasure to have this conversation with you. And thank you so much for your time. Before we, again, let you get back to your daily routine, where can the people find you? Any social medias at all where people can, maybe if they want to reach out or just give you a quick shout out, where can they find you?
The best would be probably LinkedIn. In general, I'm not so much active on social media. Simply said, I don't have enough time for that, having all the jobs, responsibilities, and family as well. But LinkedIn would be the best choice. So just Google my name over there. I'm also on Twitter, but mostly as observer. Very rarely I post something there. So ideally, LinkedIn would be the best choice.
Perfect. Perfect. David, once again, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure. And I would like to thank you for taking the opportunity to speak with us today.
Thank you very much as well. Arigato gozaimasu, as they say here in Japan. And happy to do this again in 5 years.
For sure. We'll definitely do this
or sooner.
For sure. All right. So to everybody else who's watching as well, we'd like to thank you so much for choosing Prop for Match, and we wish you a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, Golai. Have a good
Bye.
day.